So I was about 10 years old and I was going to get bashed up after school, all because I decided to make this one silly mistake that thankfully I haven't repeated, but it is very real that I could have gotten bashed up that day. Thankfully, a guy called Jordan saved me. Hey, my name is OP. I talk about health, wealth, and happiness. So I wanted to speak about the importance of having the right speech. Okay, so here's the story. There was this guy at school. It's about grade 3, 4. And looking back at it, I felt like he was on the spectrum. So there was learning difficulties for him. He often got in trouble at school, but he was a tough kid. But he kind of took a liking to me. We weren't friends, but then he ended up confiding in me that he liked this girl. What did I do? Got this juicy nugget of gossip. Why don't I just go and repeat it to other people? That's exactly what I did. Anyway, spoke to a few people, few students at school, and then it went all the way around and it went back to this guy, Solomon. Solomon was annoyed, to say the least. He didn't say anything, but the word got out that as soon as I left school that day, I was going to get bashed. And I was freaking out because I was a new kid in school. I could barely speak the language. I didn't know what was going on, but I knew I was going to get hurt. I was freaking out. Thankfully, there was another kid who was much bigger than me, who took a liking to me. And he goes, "Oh, don't worry, I'll take care of it. I'll bash up Solomon. He's not going to touch you." And thank goodness that's exactly what happened. So, Jordan stuck up for me, but it could have ended really badly. So here's the lesson. I learned from that day onwards in exercising the right speech, meaning if someone tells you something in confidence, keep that to yourself. I know this is basic. You're like, obviously. No, it's not obvious to most people because people gossip all the time. Like, hand on my heart, if someone tells me something, that stays with me because I learned through that tiny traumatic experience. I mean, it wasn't that traumatic, but it was traumatic for a grade 3 or grade 4-year-old. I wouldn't recommend, you going through it. And most disagreements happen because someone has opened their big mouth when they shouldn't have. So exercising the right speech and not gossiping is highly recommended because this is what often happens in today's society. I mean, this has been happening for centuries and thousands of years, right? It's just, especially when you're living in a village or something, there's not much entertainment. It's juicy gossip bits that keep things alive, which isn't the right thing to do. I am going to say something though. If you've been told something, the question is, should you share that with your spouse? And I'm going to clearly say, I don't know, and I'm going to leave that decision to you. You decide, if you're married, whether you should be sharing that with your spouse. Entirely up to you. Because it is an individual decision, and I feel like that is outside of the scope of the video. I'm only talking about general society, workplaces. If someone tells you at work, mate, don't go repeating that because it'll come back around. It always does. And then you end up being the guy or girl who can't keep their mouth shut because you are a big mouth. Okay? And we all know who the big mouths in our friend circle is because you're very cautious in telling them something because that's just going to go out like a wildfire. So again, circling back to this, exercising the right speech and being deliberate and conscious and having faith that when someone tells you something, hopefully it's positive, but if it is negative, especially, don't go repeating it. I will just briefly touch on the positive stuff. If someone tells you something positive, they're proud of, they have achieved something, for example, they've achieved a great goal, and for a fact that they're okay if you celebrate that news with other people. Hey, so-and-so did this much in sales. It's incredible. He started from nothing. That's a positive news story. That's okay, I think. But maybe just check in. But I'm talking about the negative stuff here, breakups, just stuff that happens, you know what I'm talking about. All right, I hope this helps. Catch you soon in the next video. I'm still in Sydney and it's beautiful. The weather is much better than Melbourne, believe it or not. That's number one takeaway. Number two takeaway is the house prices are ridiculous. Like if I thought Melbourne was expensive, house prices here are bananas. I mean, I'm in a suburb called North Ryde, and this is like, I don't know, apparently the equivalent of like Glen Iris, so very fancy area. But yeah, definitely good though. Not my first trip, but amazing. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for listening. Bye.